Hey everyone, it's Marcy, and I wanted to tell you about two scotches today. And the reason I want to introduce you to these two scotches is because not only are they both great scotches, highly rated, we have an excellent value on them right now at All Star, and I really think they're kind of sleepers in the scotch section that you should get to know. So I'm going to shine a little light on them, tell you about them, and hopefully I will do a good enough job that it will make you want to come in and get a bottle or two or many of each of these. First one I'm going to start out with is the Highland Park Dark Origins. So many people know the name Highland Park. It's a very famous distillery. It was started in the Orkney Archipelago in northern Scotland in 1798. It is not named after the Highland region. It's actually named after an area of Scotland that is considered the High Park region. The Dark Origin pays a little homage to Magnus Unison, who founded the distillery. He was quite the character, a butcher and church official by day, and then by night he illegally distilled and smuggled whiskey. So rumor has it is that, as the legend goes, is that on Sundays predominantly when the British tax agents would come around to collect the taxes on the whiskey, that he would hide in the church pews from them so that he didn't have to pay the taxes. With this scotch, it is a lightly peated barley. It has been aged in sherry casks, and the sherry casks provide like this beautiful copper color to it. So the AnCnoc 22 year, I'm just going to show you this because the AnCnoc 22 year also aged in those sherry casks, and if you can see, it's like got that beautiful like burnt copper color to it. The Highland Park Dark Origins has the same. For those of you who are Highland Park fans, this is kind of a departure from the typical Highland Park taste profile with that those sherry casks and the way that they did this with the lightly peated and the sherry and the combination. You're going to get more sweetness and spice that's going to be layered on top of some soft smoke and that distinctive Highland Park finish that Highland Park lovers look for. So if you're a Highland Park fan, my understanding is that this will still appeal to your flavor profile. If you are new to Highland Park or are looking for something a little different, this one's a great way to go with that little sweetness to it and the extra spice. And across the boards, this is a highly rated scotch that definitely says the tribute to Magnus is definitely it's a worthy tribute to a really cool rebel in Scottish history. So we have a great price on this. It is substantially less than most people, and I would come in, pick up a bottle of this. It's a really fun way to go. I'm going to move over to the AnCnoc, the 22 year. So the AnCnoc distillery was created in 1892 by John Morrison. It is still, amazingly enough, there are no computers that are used at this distillery. They do everything kind of the old-fashioned way and by hand. It is still kind of a smaller distillery, not as well known. AnCnoc is the only whiskey that is produced at the distillery that doesn't carry the Knock name to it. And with AnCnoc, you're getting, the distillery itself is surrounded by these beautiful barley and peat fields. With the AnCnoc 22 year, you are getting a non-peated whiskey. So for those of you who are not a fan of the smoke and the peat, this is a non-peated. Both of these are non-chill filtered whiskeys. This was rested for 22 years in ex-bourbon and then also ex-Oloroso sherry casks, and it spent time, it's like the dunnage warehouse at the AnCnoc distillery is a granite walled warehouse, and so the temperatures are very consistent, and that's kind of a neat factor because if you've been to Scotland, you'll realize like a granite walled warehouse is not something that is super common there. So they put this in a really special warehouse. It aged for 22 years, so a little over 2 decades, which is an incredible amount of time to spend aging for a whiskey. What you're going to get on this is a nose of honey, toffee, and some caramelized apples, all sort of wrapped up in this like warm, delicate wood fire, which just sounds amazing. And you're going to get notes of Christmas cake, baking spices, lemon peel. We got a chance to try the AnCnoc 22 year when it first came out a couple years ago, and it was stunning. AnCnoc 16 year is always really popular whenever we have it on the shelves, and the 22 year is just phenomenal. There were only 5,000 bottles of this produced worldwide. We still have bottles of it and we have a great price on it thanks to Jed. So if this is something that you're interested in, if you're looking for a really special bottle of scotch, but you're not completely wanting to break the bank, the AnCnoc 22 year is a great way to go. If you're a scotch drinker, you know that a 22 year, right around the $100 price range, is not something you will find very often, and especially one of this quality and in such limited edition, like limited quantities. So we do still have some of this left. It is at a great value. I will say that kind of looking at it online today to just kind of refresh my memory on it, every place that carried it is now out of it. So this is probably one of the last places you're going to find it. So come in and grab a bottle of the Highland Park Dark Origins, grab a bottle of the AnCnoc 22, go home, find some friends, enjoy, or don't find friends and enjoy. But I hope that we'll see you next time at All Star Lakers. Thanks.